into a Burlington, you're walking into deals on top of deals during our winter clearance event. That's main character energy. Find tons of markdowns, up to 70% off other retailers' prices on clearance items. Because at Burlington, the deals aren't the only thing turning heads. Seriously, why go anywhere else? Burlington's winter clearance event.
Burlington deals, brands, wow.
Rough day? Need a protein boost to keep you going? Power up with ProFeel. Delicious, satisfying, and packed with protein. Everybody needs protein. Everybody wants ProFeel.
But the government here was formed in revolution. If it ends the same way, it could come at a heavy price. Joe Inwood, BBC News.
Retired Army General David Petraeus, who was also the former CIA director and who led Allied forces in Iraq during 2007
What am I doing here? I'm investigating
US forces in Afghanistan, told us
murder.
what the US can do without getting boots
All
on
right,
the
so I
ground.
investigated the
Well,
villa.
there are numerous
now I
options.
have to go
you can all the way from diplomatic and informational, even just getting Starlink dishes in on the ground would help them communicate with each other and with the
find the
outside
entrance
world.
to the temple.
There could be economic sanctions of various types against individuals, against Iran's ability to export oil. There's humanitarian options. And then, of course, there are many military options. And I was also the former commander of U.S. Central Command, which is the Greater Middle East. That would be the regional combatant command that undoubtedly has been developing the menus of options for the president and others to consider. There can certainly be strikes on the headquarters of the security force organizations that are violently putting down these protests, these demonstrations that have been killing the people in very substantial numbers. He could go after the missile capability that they have, which of course was heavily damaged during the Israeli strikes against Iran, and which concluded with a U.S. substantial bombing as well. They've been trying to reconstitute those missile arsenals. That would be useful. It could prevent some of the retaliation that might be of a concern. Again, a number of different activities that wouldn't require boots on the ground, that many of which could even be done with unmanned systems, cruise missiles and the like.
David Petraeus. Well, Barman Kalbasi
Wow,
is from
this is
BBC
amazing.
Persian and gave us this update on the latest from inside.
Despite this digital blackout, we have images and we have eyewitnesses, both in the medical staff community and protesters across the cities that these protests have been going on. And the picture it gives us is one of extreme horror. Bodies piling up in centers outside in the outskirts of Tehran and other cities, in the hospitals, and the numbers are growing, and the hospital staff are overwhelmed. The fact that the communication has been cut to this in this severe manner that has happened in the last 60 hours almost, it means even doctors can't reach other doctors to ask for them to show up at the hospital because their needs is so severe. So the numbers, obviously we don't have an exact, but hundreds have been killed or injured, brought into these hospitals, and most of them with live ammunition. There's images of families trying to identify the bodies of their loved ones. There are reports that the government doesn't even allow them to bury them. It's a horrific scene on one side. The other is one of a jaw-dropping bravery, because despite the digital blackout and despite these mass shootings and killings of protesters, there are still ongoing protests that have been happening as late as a few hours ago in Tehran and other cities, which indicate that these protesters, knowing the risk that it carries, which clearly includes their lives, are still coming out, and the government has yet to manage to crack down
Assassin's
fully
Creed crashed
and end these protests.
Fantastic.
Are the protesters hoping that President Trump will get involved?
It is hard to gauge everybody's opinion, and Iran is not a monolith, and people have very different opinions about what should happen. Obviously, there is wide agreement and a larger scale protest is a sign of it that they want this regime gone. and how it should be gone. Obviously, they've taken the matter to their own hands and risking their lives by coming out. But there are obviously many who would welcome some sort of a foreign assistance, being in the form of Starlink, giving people more easy access
I have to go to the
internet,
VFW
all the way
meeting
to
on
targeting
Tuesday.
leadership with military intervention. Not everybody agrees that these are productive, especially when it comes to military intervention. Many worry that it will lead to the regime hardening its position even more and possibly hit at targets in the Middle East, and this turning into some sort of a massive war, which will then distract from what the protesters want. And some think there is no other way. Without the foreign help, how could they overcome a extremely brutal crackdown by a regime that is armed to the teeth? So the reality of these protests is they know what they don't want, but how do we get to that place varies depending on who you speak to.
Armin, I know it's difficult, but you have covered other protests that have taken in Iran. What do you think will happen next?
It is really the million-dollar question, but it is different from the other protests that I've covered and I've lived through. It is large scale, it's historic, it is across the country, it's across demographics, and it has faced perhaps the most brutal, the most bloody crackdown in the last 72 hours, and it hasn't died down yet. So that should tell us that we are in for possibly a different outcome than the previous protests. But does it mean that we'll see a smooth transition to a regime change? Certainly that's something that nobody would bet on at this point.
Barman Kalbasi from BBC Persian. Well, Dr. Sahar Razavi is the director of the Iranian and Middle Eastern Studies Center at California State University. She gave me her assessment of what's going on inside Iran.
Just as Bahman Kalbasi has shared, this started as a relatively, just as all protests in Iran began, it began with a spark that turned into large-scale demands for a complete transformation of the system. The last time there was an internet blackout of this scale during a protest was during Bloody Aban in 2019, and by the time the internet turned back on, estimates range from the very low end, 200 something, to the more likely end at around 1,500, according to a Reuters report, had been killed by the government. So when we see internet blackouts, we become very concerned, even in spite of the fact that there are images and reports coming out from Iran, from on the ground. My assessment is that this is, it may have begun as a slightly smaller scale protest than the Women Life Freedom movement in 2022, but it has quickly ballooned out to bring in more and more sectors of society, including labor unions, students, people in rural and urban areas, sectors of society that have typically not been as engaged in protests. The economic crisis was the spark this time, but it is always sparked by something, and then it balloons out to a bigger scale protest.
You're in the US. President Trump has said that the
let's try to
US
get to the top again,
stands
see if we
ready
can
to
do
help.
it without
What do you think he will
Assassin's
do?
Creed crashing.
President Trump tends to prefer quick wins and easy optics. So my sense is that he is more hesitant to get involved directly on the ground if he thinks that there will be challenges and it won't be an easy victory.
The big green roof of patient-first urgent and primary care centers has always been easy to find. But what we offer under that roof is what really matters. Friendly and efficient medical care every day of the year. It's all under one roof.
See if we can
at
sync
Patient
without
First.
crashing.
My name is Sarah Sherman Samuel.
Hi, I'm Jake Hartwell.
I'm Animi Parker.
My name is Kali Krishnan.
And this is my collection.
And this is my collection.
And this is our collection.
And this is my collection.
Lunden, Georgia.
What's going to happen next from President Trump?
We know the reports say hundreds of people have died already. What options are open for the government there and the supreme leader if they do want to continue cracking down on these protests?
This is the big question, because what's different now for the government compared to the last round of protests, the last large-scale protests in 2022, is that their regional support structure has completely changed. In the past, they've been relatively freer to crack down so brutally as they always have, because they felt buttressed by their regional alliances, including Bashar al-Assad in Syria, Hamas and Hezbollah. These are even Russia, which is bogged down in now Ukraine. Its alliances have been significantly weakened, which makes it more difficult for them to engage in large-scale crackdowns without the looming threat of foreign intervention. The options, if they continue the crackdown, which is their standard operating procedure every time there is an uprising, then there is a risk that they are giving the United States and Israel and the U.S.'s regional allies the opportunity and the opening to intervene militarily. If they do not crack down, if they make concessions, if they make conciliatory gestures, which there have been one or two of, the risk to them is that the protesters see it as a sign that they should keep pushing.
This just popped up. So that was a BBC News report. Hopefully we got informed today about, what's happening out there and what's being said, through the media outlets and, the lack of information was keeping us informed. But this just popped up here. It says Trump planning, U.S. steps up planning for possible action in Iran. Trump aides are set to brief the president Tuesday on measures including military action and economic to follow through. It appears what's going to happen here is that Hegseth and Marco Rubio and all them, they're going to meet on Tuesday on the matter. So that will be interesting to follow for sure, to see what happens there. Let me point this back out over here. Get this up here. We'll turn the volume down. I'll put myself to the right. Kind of just show you some of the footages that are out there in Iran. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. There's pretty much nothing else left to report on this matter. I was looking around trying to give everyone every type of angle and perspective. Definitely things are happening here, and it will be interesting. But if that report is true, it means that he's not going to do something to at least through Tuesday. So I think he's going to probably just wait for things to, see what the people do in Iran and see the people. But we'll follow this. We'll stay with this story for sure. Wow. And, if the regime collapses before our eyes, if we get some sort of footage or some sort of protest or something else that's popping up that's crazy, or riots or anything like that, we will definitely come back on the channel. So we'll see what happens here. I'm informing you of what's going on. I'm going to blow myself up here. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by. We got our eyes on Iran, and we'll see where this goes for sure. Be safe out there. Tips at JLR Investigates. Tips at JLR Investigates. If you have any information that you want to share or set the record straight or say it in the chat, all opinions are welcome here on this matter. Crazy stuff. Is the regime done, or do you think that they will squash the protests? I mean, it seems like the protesters are backed by the Trump administration, so doesn't look good for the Iranian regime. It just does not look good. All right, we'll talk soon. Thanks for watching, folks. So I got our eyes on something else, so should be back on very, very soon with a new story. Stay safe out there. Have a great Sunday.
Alright, I'm gonna see if I can sneak around and kill these guys. These guys are pretty tough. These skirmishers. Alright, I think I've killed enough of these guys. Alright, here we are in the temple. Guessing since we got these fuel containers, I gotta bust open an entrance down here.
Compass holds sway over the others. He has ordered the arrow to recruit archers in a market to the west. Worth a visit.
We must increase our strength to stage our coup. Drum up some support from the layabouts at the West Market. Archers are needed in force. We need them to man those new spring elves you're so enamored with. I will return and send you word of your success. Compass.
Tools for a surgeon, finely crafted, like we found in the villa. And there's a letter here, arranging payment to a blacksmith.
Babe, did you see I made coffee? All right. Is it too strong or no?
Sounds good. So it's been a little,
Yeah. Why the hell did I just need to move that? All right, let's see what's under there. Oh, there we go. Now, how cool is that? I want to get a photo of that. I think I disabled photo mode. Yeah, I turned this off because it kept coming on when I was in the middle of battles. I definitely want a picture of that. Further back here. Yeah, I think I might use that as my new backdrop for Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Must be blocked from the other side.
entrance somewhere? Gotta be.
Odin!
Alright, maybe there's another way around down there. You just have to find it.
Interesting.
Should I get up and go west? Maybe another hole in the ceiling is what I'm guessing. Oh, what is this here? Liber antique deorum. Let our wretched origins be known. We are the instruments of the ancient gods. We are the refuge of the ancient world. Yet we are the hope for an era reborn. Let our task be stated. We are the shepherds of our creators. Well, we are the curators of our creators' tools. We are the new masters of the world they made. Alright.
Messages between the Leech and the Compass. Healing, gutting. The Leech is a strange one, but the Compass calls to strikes.
Governor Tryggr means to interfere with our work. We must eliminate him now and make a grand show of it. Take his head if you desire and serve his eyes to the river eels. If his head and eyes will remain with me, for they greatly aid my work. We are wet machines of an early age. There is nothing about us that cannot be improved with effort and pain. Leech. I have arranged for a meeting with Tryggr tomorrow morning to discuss the opening of the port to Franciscan concerns. This will be his last negotiation. Be ready with your tools. The arrow will bring his own.
I've got enough to go on for now.
Oh, this must be that barred door.
More bloodshed in London's future. At least Lunden will feast. Draw attention here.
I don't know what these avenge quests are, but I do them anyway.
If they see me, this will get messy. You don't say.
Alright, let's go do the actual quest. Wow, this city is amazing. Back to the governor's villa.
It's worth not knocking on a few doors, that's all I'm saying.
Tryggr wasn't killed because you want to plant a few trees and fix a few roofs in Lunden.
Looks less like a meeting.
Eivor, you bring good findings, I hope?
A few sheets of vellum. Notes between members of a secret society. The Order of the Ancients, they are called.
Order of the Ancients? Doesn't sound any bells in this head. What's the purpose?
That would take some time to explain. But know this, that I am here to kill them. In London, it seems the compass is the head. The arrow and the leech are his hands.
Pet names and secret orders. What a crock. Do we know anything we can act on?
The compass is a mystery. He is mentioned often, but there is little to go on.
Said he was a Frankish captain, did you? To find him, we'd have to mark the ships that came and went along the Thames.
Captains are a transient sort. And maybe he's far away, keeping quiet.
That may be, but would he scream if we cut off his hands?
Oh, you've a filthy mind for strategy.
We kill the arrow and the leech, then sit back and wait. Let the compass come to us. The arrow is a Dane, who has seen his share of battle. His name suggests he is an archer.
I bet my knuckles he's the one sowing discord among the Danes that shelter at Lunden.
If it were me, I'd hide among my ranks, surrounded by other fighting men.
The arrow has orders from the compass to recruit soldiers and mark it in the west.
I know the very place.
The leech has need of flesh. Been looking for thralls, though I cannot say why.
We found
What
a
is a
number of
thrall?
dead down by the quays lately, but not thralls alone. Some of the missing we find again in several places, cut to pieces.
Good lord, Erke.
Let us not waste any more time. We'll find the arrow and the leech. Killing both should drag the compass back into port. So, I'll catch you at the Western Market.
Count on it.
And I'll make for the quays. There's another few bodies there to fish out of the muck.
It could be the leech is back at work.
God be with us, friends. Go in his name, and be protected by him.
Yeah, that's a cool picture. I like that one. I have to go find and kill the arrow.
This area is off limits.
Boy, this city's just huge. I love it.
Eivor, Welcome to the West Market.
A lawman like you could set folks on edge in a square like this. Why not wear a cloak?
Hide my face? Not a chance. It does the people good to see a lawman on the hunt. And once we've found the arrow, this order needs to know we'll be after the leech and the compass as well.
Any noise yet about the arrow and recruits?
I've heard whispers. Somewhere here, a man gives you a coin, and this coin grants you entry to a contest run by the Arrow's men.
Which man? I see too many here.
He's good at blending in. I haven't spotted him yet today.
I will sniff around. You stay back.
Eivor, what was your impression of Erke?
You know him better than me. If you suspect him, only say the word.
No. No, I believe in Erke. It's me I don't trust. I feel unfit for my post some days. Ah, forgive me. My latest thoughts have been restless. I've been a reeve for so long. Fighting for God's justice. I shed my earthly attachments for his great plans.
But you could not shed Erke and his friendship.
No. No, I'm not sure I could.
It is not good to attach yourself to any one person. Be your own man. Forge your own path.
I should. I know.
I should find one of these coins soon. Will you be around?
I'll return to St. Paul's just down the road. Godspeed, Eivor.
Alright, I'm gonna grind some grain.
You got the coin? Show me. Is that the coin for the archery contest?
Keep off, boyo. This is my coin, my shot. You want one? You talk to my mate Hussa, and he'll point you through.
We heard the take for this job is 3 stubs of silver a month. Is that true?
No. And they pay you more if you drag your brothers into it. Hussa's earned a fortune skimming the docks of London Bridge.
I want to talk to you.
Is that so? I think so too.
Okay, how do I chat with Husa with all those dudes around him?
Soyez pas bien. Eretto secra iurum. Minta espilia eswerm. Monet twithias, da was visa somna. Suela suave.
Ma, is ruwe dat ze sedon, I beze samjeri. Nis wel Northmen on a Bergon legend. It's true, that's the way
Begone! You reek of someplace else.
I have a bow and a buddy ready to serve the arrow. So why turn away the sharpest eye in Britain?
I haven't come this far trusting any old sellsword on the street. How do I know you aren't some rat looking to sink our ship?
I would never. A mutual friend sent me.
Did he now? And what's our common friend's name?
Husa sent me. Your man in London, Mitch.
Husa did? Well, he's a keen one, all right. Has a good eye for soldiers. But do you align with our values? What think you of Outlanders?
Outlanders bring exotic riches. Spices, silks, and gems. They are the wealth of port cities.
I've no quarrel with them dumping their trade. But they should leave after. London for Londoners!
Wrong answer. I need to find another way to get the coin. Some of these men have pocketed their coin already. Which, ignore your cursors, lads.
Oh, she just puked.
Hey, what moist little coward, aren't you?
crusader can save you now. Dog! You run like a cow! Pitiful Nisi!
This coin is engraved with an image of the London sun.
All right. Didn't want to do it that way, but you know.
Yes.
What's your business? Shooting or watching?
You are looking for skilled archers, and now you have found one.
This contest is private. Invitation only.
Your men are handing out these coins like they were on fire. Is this enough?
It's enough to keep us talking. But I'll want to see how well you handle that bow before you go any further. Want a trial round to test your eye?
I've had enough practice. Let us begin.
A real fanatic you are. Get ready. It's a simple contest here. Hit all targets true before the sand runs down. Here's the new competitor, a Norse from the northern wilds of Mercia. And our current reigning champion, Sayed. All right, take your mark. Hook set, arrows not, fire!
You can always forfeit if you're not having
Odin's
fun.
spear, did you see that? Incredible! Time, bows down. Sayer leads to victory. A poor showing, such a pity.
Wait, I can do better.
I often say the same, and it always costs me a little fortune.
If the arrow looking for the best archer in London, you would best be sure.
Well, the conditions on your matches weren't exactly the same.
What? Right from the bull's arse, this is.
Let's loosen those arrows. Targets up. Bows ready. All right, take your mark. We are halfway down the sand. Eivor leads to victory.
I can shoot a mid-flight seeker through the air.
And you're still only good enough to beat me once.
Well shot. You have earned your place at the Arrow's side today. He'll be eager to meet you. Hold yourself to the Imperial Arch and speak with our man, Hussa. Recite the phrase. May the Father of Understanding guide us. And he'll know it's you. Arrow is making his speech at the Imperial Arch. On your way now.
Alright, I gotta stop this. I'll be back.